is a major cause of global warming, attributable for 21 to 37% of total greenhouse gas emissions, and that all of us, every human, should move toward a plant-based diet rather than a meat-based one. It's been clear for over 50 years that the way land is used for farming, 80% of farmed land is used to grow feed for livestock, which provides only 18% of the world's calories supply, and 37% of its protein supply, is inefficient. This inefficient monoculture, as the cultivation of single crops is known, has dire consequences for our global ecosystem, global hunger and health, and the animals and insects whose robust existence is complementary to our human one. Because the inefficiency of this way of growing and consuming food has been known for so long, many people decided to change how they eat in order to get a head start on a rapidly encroaching future in which meat must return to its old status as a luxury good, in which dairy must come from different sources and not just cows, and in which eggs aren't laid by hens in tiny cages and male chicks aren't sent down chutes to die. A world in which animals aren't confined to factory farming operations and fed genetically modified corn, then processed by underpaid and overworked meat processing workers, is a different world than what we in the United States have become accustomed to, of course. Luckily, these people who've gotten a head start on eating for a different future have laid the groundwork for thinking through what that world looks like. That world where we don't have a meat-based diet. I don't care about meat. That should be said sooner rather than later. Eating meat is the default in Western cultures. What is compelling about making the default decision? Nothing, at least not to me. Jacques Derrida called the conditions for being understood as a full subject in the West carnophallogocentrism, being a meat-eater, being a man, and being an authoritative, speaking self. I'm only one of these, but I can be authoritative, and I can be loud. I'm concerned with the alternative choices, the abstentions and refusals. Sometimes the alternative choices are rooted in ethical or spiritual foundations. Other times, political. These political foundations could be anarchist or fascist, or anything in between. Basically, there is more diversity of thought in the refusal of meat than in meat eating by default, both as a way of thinking and in the diet itself. The diversity of thought and of diet are complementary. They feed off each other, support each other, the good and the bad, the delicious and the disgusting. I believe there is, in the recent history of meat refusal, a way forward in our rapidly warming world. But it's all complicated, a history populated by a range of characters, a range of ideologies. Here, in this book, I will attempt to make sense of them. When disaster strikes, attention goes to life's essential forces, what grows and what flows, and the climate crisis is a disaster of the highest order. Food and drink are our most basic needs, and that never becomes more clear than when there is a crisis. After the devastation wrought by Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico, an SOS written in chalk letters on concrete, large enough to be seen from a plane overhead, read, "Necesitamos agua, comida." We need water, food. We need to survive, this means. Nothing more and nothing less. Despite food being the means for survival, in day-to-day life, it's regarded rather flippantly. Food is considered feminine when outside the masculine environs of a restaurant kitchen. Cooking is a chore for many who spend all day laboring, and the idea of taking eating